My name is Alex Allen. I'm the president and CEO of the Chandler Park Conservancy. Been doing that here for about 5 years. Chandler Park Conservancy is a nonprofit organization, and we work with the city to improve the park. Our goal is to raise money to put in new amenities or to improve the amenities that are already here, and work with the city to do programming. About 5 or 6 years ago, the Warren Connor Coalition organization came together and they commissioned a blue ribbon panel that came out to study the park. One of the things they came up with was having Chandler Park become this conservation campus. And so they decided that we should look at bioswales and rain gardens and use the park kind of as a demonstration project for that. And so that's why we include GSI in all of the amenities that we put in the park. The Marshland can accommodate 2.5 million gallons of water. And what happens is that there is a parking lot across the street from the Marshland. The water park has a large parking lot. A lot of rain falls on that parking lot and Ring Road, which surrounds the Marshland. That water gets into a conveyance basin, into some pumps underground, and they're pumped into the Marshland. And so that water's intake fills up the Marshland. Like I said, we can hold about 2.5 million gallons of water, and that water is constantly moving. So at the big end of the bay, there are pumps that pump the water and they flow it back into the water overlay, and so we kind of keep the water moving that way. So all the water that comes into the marshland does not go downstream into the drain. So it's very helpful because instead of this water going straight into the drain for a major rain event, we capture it here. It takes off a little pressure on the system, so people's basements don't get flooded and things like that. So we do a little part to try to help with that. Selected plants, we try to get native plants to put around the marshland. Trees are also add to the process of absorbing water and things like that. So the plants are here for beautification and for education purposes as well. So the marshland took us about a year to build. We spent a little bit over $1 million to do that. And I think it's money well spent, and I think it's going to be a great asset for the community in the long term. They're getting used to it being here. Before, it was just a soggy area that nobody could use. Now people can come out and take a look at it. People got to get used to that it's a marsh, so it's not going to be always pristine and cut like you cut your grass, but sometimes it's going to look a little rugged, but that's how marshes are. So people are getting used to it. I see people walking around and through it all the time. So we're excited about people enjoying it. There's vegetation growing, so there's invasive species, and so we have to manage those. We have to make sure they don't take over the marshland. We have to make sure the water is in good, healthy condition as well. So we're kind of learning as we go. Just making sure that everything is working like it's supposed to. So the football field, we have a regular sized football field. It's synthetic turf, and so water falls on that football field, and usually those types of fields, they're drained into the drainage system. But our football field actually drains into a bioswale, which is off to the side of it, actually 2 bioswales. So the water goes into the bioswales, and that water seeps into the ground in about 48 to 72 hours on a major rain event. So the GSI system worked very well early on in the process. When we were building the football field, right when we got done with it, there was a water main break right at the edge of the football field that flooded for about two weeks or so before the city could get out to repair it. The good thing about that is that the GIS system was already in place, and so the field never got flooded. We were still able to use the property, and the system worked very well for us. Depending on the budget, we try to add to that. So throughout the park, there's a plan where we think how the water flows depending on the topology of the park. And so from time to time, we see puddles and standing water, so we look at those as opportunities to build additional rain gardens. We use the marshland as a place to teach environmental education. Right now, currently, we have environmental education classes virtually for young people, and we're going to be teaching about the birds and the bees and the plants and how all that works together. We'll constantly have information on our website and social media educating people about what's going on in the marshland. So when people come out to the park, they can enjoy the park, but we want them to be able to come to the marshland and learn a little bit about the environment too. So we'll have mechanisms for people to do that. In addition to the plants and the water, the marshland is also designed to bring habitat into the community as well. So it's designed to accommodate turtles, and snakes and butterflies. We've seen some birds that we don't normally see around here. There's a blue heron that hangs around here now. So we're excited about that. This is just the first phase in the marshland. Thanks to the Kresge Foundation, the Earth Foundation, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. Those are our three major partners as far as funding. The City of Detroit, Department of Water and Sewage, all were very helpful in the funding of this. And this is just the first phase. The next phase is we want to build an outdoor environmental classroom right across the other side of the marshland so people can come and we can have classes and talk about the marshland in a little bit more detail. For me, this whole project is really exciting. I am an administrator by trade, but I am a kind of an outdoors recreation. I'm more so into athletics and parks, but seeing this park come alive, seeing people enjoy the park is really exciting for me. So I get a big thrill when I see our park with hundreds and thousands of people. With COVID, it's been kind of hard to do that, but people still want to come out. We get a lot of good feedback about what the park used to be and how it is now, and people really enjoy the changes. There's a number of locations through the park where we're going to be building some additional bioswales and rain gardens. We have some amenities in place like our tennis court where we'll be adding some GSI components as well. And so we're looking forward to doing that and really making the whole park a place where people can not just enjoy, but get educated about GSI at the same time.